Hello, my name is Christiane. I'm a fitness instructor for the Cal Poly Recreation Center, and I'm so glad to give you a quick introduction to body pump here today. You might have never done body pump before, so let's see what this is all about. It's all about moving and using actually somewhat lighter weight to challenge different muscle zones in your body. That means there's going to be a warm-up track, a squat track, a chest track. We're going to work our upper and lower back. We're going to work our arms, our tricep, and of course we're going to work our larger muscle groups. Our lunges will really challenge our glutes and our abs. So I'm going to go through 8 different tracks. And what do we really need for this class to be successful? Well, I have a step right here. And don't worry if you don't have one at home. You could just even use a yoga mat that you place on the floor. It could be completely flat and you would still get a fabulous workout. I have a towel right here. I'm going to use that towel at the end or in between if you get warm. You can just, kind of like refresh a little bit. And another refreshment, have some water close by. It's really good in between if you feel you need to hydrate, grab that water and have it at your fingertips right there. So now comes the real fun part. Of course, body pump will challenge your strength, and that means you should use some weights. And if you don't have weights at home, all what I'm going to do here today is I'm actually just going to use 2 10-pound dumbbells. Don't worry at all if you don't have any weights at home. Here are your options. You could even use one of those water bottles right here, fill it up with water or with sand to make it a little bit heavier. That could be your weight right there. And you can even weigh it and see how much of a dumbbell you really just created yourself. Other options are you could use a textbook. Maybe you can even have an empty plastic bottle that you fill up with sand, and that will be your permanent dumbbell there at home. Go into your cabinet. Maybe there are some cans that you could use, maybe some canned pineapple or soup. Anything will be great. And if you don't have any weights, I actually promise you, you're going to be challenged even without any kind of weight. That body pump workout is very good in terms of toning your body, and you don't even need any weights if you don't have them. So let me maybe show you just a few quick moves so when we go through the actual workout, you'll be familiar and you have seen them already. So in the warm-up track, what I'm really going to focus on is keeping my heels outside of my hip range. I keep my abs tight at all times, so I kind of pull my navel into my spine and I roll my shoulders up, back and down. That means I'm really setting up my shoulder over my hip range, keep my tailbone tucked in by pulling that navel in. The most important thing in body pump is really just tightening your core, as a strong core will create also a strong lower back here. In that, after we got warmed up in the squat track, the setup is even more important. So look how I'm setting up my heels outside of my hip range. And if now for any reason you might feel a little bit lower back pain, you can go even one heel toe wider. Make sure that your knees point out. There will be a lot of squats, more than you might have done for a while. I'm not going to tell you the exact number because I don't want to steal that surprise right now. But on that squat, really make sure you're pushing your hips down and don't push your knees forward. So this is not really where the weight is going. The weight is actually going right here. And I'm feeling I could wiggle my toes right now because all that weight is sitting in my heels. You want to keep those knees nicely behind your toes because we're challenging large muscle groups and we don't want to injure those knees. We need those guys later for the lunge track. In the chest track, I'm going to be lying here on my bench, lifting my weights and doing chest presses. And of course, there will be push-ups, probably your personal favorite. And at the push-up time, I'm going to actually move my mat behind my bench. If you don't have a bench at home, all what you really may be going to do is support your knees in the push-up, because I'll be doing them on my knees. In between, if you want to get up on your toes, go for it, but I will show you the option that's completely doable. No worries at all. Then in the back track, I'm going to do what's called a clean and press. And on that clean and press, I get actually quite low, but I'm going to keep that weight really close and I'm going to push up. So make sure whatever weight you're using, even if it's no weight at all, you want to work your lower and you want to work your upper back. So keep those weights really close, get under the weights and then push them over your head. This is called a clean and press. And it should be feeling really like freedom when you press up those weights over your head. It should be like goal pose. We are really doing this right now here. Exactly. Then we are going to work the arms. I'll be laying down again for the tricep track. And I also want to tell you, tricep is like the favorite of many, which is why in the tricep track, I have one of my absolute most favorite and challenging exercises, which is called the tricep dip. So now I'm going to do them on my bench, just moving my hip away from the bench, lowering down and pressing back up, really challenging the back of my arm. At home, if you just have a flat surface with your mat on there, this is what you could be doing, right? Push those fingertips away. So you're sitting up the palm of your hand behind your hip, press up your hips, and then when you lower down, see how I'm bending my elbows and keep them really tight. Yes, you want to make sure that you're keeping your elbows as narrow as possible, as this will work the back of your arm. And we really want to make sure that if you feel you need a break in between, just sit down and join me again whenever you're ready. And then maybe the next time you do body pump, you'll be so much stronger and maybe you don't have to take that break again. So hang in there, you will see changes in your body quite quickly, especially in the tricep track. In the lunge track, let me show you the proper lunge. See how long I'm actually stepping. When I go down, my knee back here creates a nice 90-degree knee, as does my knee up front. So the tricky part is, if you feel maybe I need a mat under my feet because my feet are sliding, line that mat right up. It could also be something to where you're feeling, maybe this is not the perfect thing for me. Then stay a little bit higher and work your way down until you feel that back knee is nearly touching the ground. So this is the perfect lunge position right here, where you're lining up shoulders over hips, and then you look down and you see that knee really tucking in for that 90-degree. You're going to have so much fun. I would say the lunge track today is the one really seeing that cardio boost going out and really feeling your heart rate goes up. I personally love it, so hang in there and get ready for that one. Then we have the core track. I'm going to put my mat back on the ground. We're going to work some upper and lower abs, and of course we're going to work that lower back. We'll have some planks at the end, and then don't miss the cool down, because in general, when you work all your muscles, they'll be all contracted, so you have to stretch them out at the end of class to really see those benefits where your body is lengthening, it's toning, and your muscles are strengthening. So hang in there for that cool down track, and I'm overall looking forward to making you stronger and healthier. So thank you so much for joining me.